Hey, our story today is Pumpkin Town. What do you think it might be about if it's called Pumpkin Town?
About pumpkins?
About pumpkins.
Um,
Okay.
oh.
Hey, what do we call the outside of a book?
Cover.
The cover. We have a front cover with the title on it and the back cover. Sometimes it says something about the book. This one does not. How about this part of the book? What is this called?
The spine.
The spine. What does the spine do?
It holds the pages together.
It does hold all the pages together. What does the cover do? If the spine holds the pages together, what does the cover do for the pages? It protects the pages. Please take care of the cover of your book so that we can take good care of our books. Pumpkin Town is the title of our book. That is what our book is called. That's what the author named the book after she wrote all the words. And Katie McKee, Mickey, like Mickey Mouse. She wrote this story. Katie is a teacher. Do you know somebody who is a teacher?
Miss May.
Yes, I am a teacher. Who else is a teacher?
Milene.
Miss Magdalena, yes, you are right. Who else is a teacher that we might know?
Miss Pekka.
Right, okay. So we all know a bunch of teachers, and Miss Katie was a teacher. And did you know that this story was based on a real life story? Kinda. Not really, because this is a fiction book, so it's not real. But Miss Katie was a teacher in her classroom, and they decided to grow pumpkins. And she accidentally put out too many seeds. And you know what happened? The vines grew everywhere. And then there were pumpkins everywhere. And she says, wow, what a great story this might make. And so she made up a story. So this is a fiction story about what might happen in another place in another land, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to read the story?
Yeah.
Okay. Pumpkin Town by Katie Mickey. Jose and his family grew pumpkins, and that growing begins with shiny seeds, which are followed by long vines, and those vines grow every which way. Everywhere. Pumpkins grew every which way too. Some pumpkins are small, some are fat, and some are tall. The Jack B. Littles, those are little tiny pumpkins, and they can fit in your pocket. And a Happy Jack were bigger, and a strong boy could carry one pumpkin all by himself.
Yeah.
But the big moons are bigger, and they're even bigger still because 5 boys can't roll that pumpkin all by themselves. They need help from an adult. So we know that they grow 3 kinds of pumpkins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Come fall, Jose and his family will gather the pumpkins and collect the vines. Then 2 trucks will take the fruit to faraway cities. Some will get hollowed out for jack-o'-lanterns, and some will be saved for pie. Pumpkin pie. But before the trucks can take the pumpkins, Jose and his family will save a few because they need the seeds. What do you use seeds for?
Garden.
For gardens. So they want to grow more pumpkins. So they grow the pumpkin, they take apart the pumpkin, they save the seeds, and now next year they're going to use those seeds in their garden all over again. Now, when it comes to saving seeds, Jose's father always says, save only the best, throw away the rest. So Jose and his brothers will hollow out the best pumpkins and save only the biggest, brightest seeds. So we have all emptied out pumpkins in here before, so we know that some seeds are really big and some seeds are really little. And some seeds are like little white flat ones and they don't look very good. We would throw those away, and we only want the really big ones that are bright and almost shiny, right? They take the duller, smaller seeds to the edge of the field overlooking the town and they toss them away. But on one gusty, dusty October day, when Jose and his brothers took the lesser seeds to the edge of the field and flung them out, the wind caught them and blew them. Oh my goodness, where are they gonna go? And it didn't let them loose until they fell like rain onto the distant town. The seeds slipped into the straw roofs. They settled into gardens and flower pots and sprinkled the ground. And that seemed to be the end of it. But then the next spring, it woke the seeds up and the plants began. More rain fell and the vines grew every which way. They wrapped around chimneys and wound through the corn. At first, the townspeople, they liked the vines. They were pretty. They were lovely. They were delicate. But when the vines began to climb up and down and around and growing and leafy and thick, they snaked green and silent in one window and out the next. And then, oh my goodness, they were just everywhere. And then the fruit grew and grew and grew every which way. Now soon the townspeople are going to be stepping over pumpkins and around pumpkins and under pumpkins, and it was so hard to walk not even one block. Rooftops sagged under the weight of the big moons. Fences fell. And when the wind blew, one had to dodge the little tiny Happy Jacks and the Jack Be Littles falling from the trees. Nothing is worse than pumpkins, groaned the townspeople.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, up on their mountainside, Jose and his family cut and stacked their pumpkins, saving only the best, and when they were done, they stepped back and said, "Nothing is better than pumpkins." But when Jose and his family looked down at the town, it looked odd. It seemed so green and so orange. Well, since the field work was done, and because Jose and his brothers were curious, that means they wanted to find out what was going to happen, or what did happen, they walked to town the next day where they saw more vines and pumpkins than they had ever imagined before. Oh, and then they remembered that gusty, dusty day in October when they had scattered the seeds. "It's our fault," said Jose. "We must do something," whispered his brothers. "Oh, we will rest for now," said Jose. "He has a plan." That night, Jose and his brothers cut and stacked the pumpkins and vines. They worked as quietly as they could, but some townspeople, they sneaked a peek, and they marveled at how well the brothers worked. They climbed up poles, they twined through trees, and they snuck in one window and out another, gathering and stacking pumpkins and vines. When the townspeople awoke, they discovered a mountain of pumpkins and a hill of vines and look, a mound of tired brothers. While the brothers slept, the townspeople filled a wagon with hay. They set 5 giant pumpkins into the wagon in between Jose and his brothers. And in thanks for their aid, the wagon took the brothers back to their home where they lay in the glossy grass, fast asleep. When their father found them, he asked them what they had done to deserve all those giant watermelons.
Yeah.
Oh, we just helped the townspeople with their harvest, the brothers said, which was true, and nothing more was said. Down in the town, 5 trucks came for the mountain of pumpkins, and the townspeople were given a large sum of money in return for their pumpkins. Ah, nothing is better than pumpkins, they said, and much of the money went towards a big feast held around a bonfire that they used by making those big vines. Remember the big pile of vines?
Yeah.
Out of that. It was decided that the rest of the pumpkin money will be spent to carve a statue. A statue of the 5 mysterious brothers who had made a mountain out of pumpkins.
And
It took all the next week for the townspeople to repair their roofs and their fences. And it took all the next week for Jose and his family to eat all those wonderful watermelons. Oh, the watermelon were so sweet, and Jose and the family said, nothing is better than watermelon. Be careful with the seeds, Jose's father said. Our field is for pumpkins, not for watermelon. So Jose's family filled a giant bowl with seeds, and those seeds were forgotten until, the wind rose around the house. Jose's father feared that some of the watermelon seeds might blow into their field. So by moonlight, he carried the bowl to the edge of his field and he tossed the seeds. And the wind caught those seeds and it carried them and it didn't let them loose until they fell like rain in the town. The watermelon seeds slipped into straw roofs. It slipped into flower pots and gardens and around the new statue of the boys. And that seemed to be the end of it. What do you think might happen in the springtime when the seeds start to grow?
And the flowers go.
Yeah, and the vines might grow up around chimneys.
And pumpkins grows on the vine.
Watermelons and pumpkins both grow on vines, but they are a different kind of
And I
fruit.
eat watermelon a lot.
Yeah.
I like
You like watermelon?
I
like watermelon a lot
I
too.
like watermelon too.
So
I like
maybe the
watermelon.
next book we find might be Watermelon Town. Who knows? All right, my friends at home. We miss you, we love you very much, and we really, really look forward to seeing you coming back to school. And until then, adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.